I'll pause up here momentarily so all of you can get photos.
My man. Yes, sir. Diva.
Work it.
It's like pulling teeth to get applause. All right, presently, my name is Yves Navant. I am, at the moment, the college's Director of Student Affairs. I am also an author and illustrator, and kind of vain. But it is my pleasure to serve students like these on a daily basis on behalf of the college. I'm going to take a moment to introduce the valedictorian, but first I'm going to preface my introduction to her. I asked how she would like to be introduced, and her response to me was very telling. So I'm going to comment about remarks that I make at the onset of every academic year, for every orientation, every incoming class. I tell the students coming into the college that they are the societal elite. It takes countless people to be doctors or attorneys or deliver our mail or work in stores or pump our gas or fix our cars or dig our ditches or enforce our laws. It takes innumerable millions of those people so that a handful of artists and designers can give them the books they read, the music they listen to, the films they watch, the clothing they wear. It is creatives who create the future of society and culture. They are agents of societal and cultural evolution and enlightenment, much more so than any politician could ever hope to accomplish, is accomplished by artists and designers.
Yeah.
Thus, the societal elite. So now about the valedictorian. I asked how she would like to be introduced, and she said she wished she had titles like Mother of Dragons or Breaker of Chains. Citing the creative's position as the elite of society, as I mentioned a moment ago, I say, why not? We're artists and designers. We'll do whatever we want. Be the Mother of Dragons or the Breaker of Chains. Be brilliant. But right now, come to the podium and speak for us. Ladies and gentlemen, Alice Coles, our valedictorian.
This is all part of the suspense, you know? Okay, hi. So, upon careful review of the honor code, I've deduced that it's plagiarism for me to simply give the speech that John Keating gave so admirably in the movie The Dead Poets Society. Which sort of foils my plan for saying something intelligent and inspirational in the speech. But if I may, I will start with a quote from the movie. We don't read and write poetry because it's cute. We read and write poetry because we are members of the human race. And the human race is filled with passion. And medicine, law, business, engineering, those are noble pursuits and necessary to sustain life. But poetry, beauty, romance, love, these are what we stay alive for. I am not as eloquent as Keating, and so I am happy to borrow his words, for the truth in them is evident. We are all artists and driven by a passion to create. Something has inspired you. Something has pushed you to bring beauty into a world that has so often spurned it. Something in your heart has called to you to say, there is more to life than just surviving. There is beauty, there is art, there is the act of creation, to bring something into this world that is more than just utilitarian. Perhaps you want to use your art to help others. Perhaps you want to make amazing design and make art more accessible. Perhaps it is therapy for you. Or perhaps it is the only way that you feel that you can speak your truth. But whatever your reason for being here, there was something that drove you to come. For me, I knew the moment I saw the concept art for the Disney movie Tangled. My heart felt like it was physically full. Looking at it, I realized how desperately I needed to be able to create worlds the way they had, to bring beauty and imagination to life. It was more than a want. It was something that felt so unequivocally right that I knew it had to be true. What is it that inspired you to realize, hell yes, I have to do this? Was it an artist, a movie, an amazing piece of design, a teacher that never stopped believing in you? Perhaps the way a fur on a character felt like you could just reach through the screen and touch it, or a myriad of other reasons that could have touched your heart. So many people say, I wish I could draw, or I would love to be an artist. So many people have the passion to create, but so few follow through with that. We are the ones that did. Whatever that passion was, that passion that pushed you through, that passion became dedication, because every single one of you survived art school. You pushed through people telling you you shouldn't be here, perhaps that you couldn't be here, that there were more practical fields than art, that it wasn't important, that it should just be a hobby. Every single one of you has had your own personal struggles that you have overcome to be sitting here today. We've survived the grueling schedule of art school, okay? We have survived hundreds of assignments. We've survived our computer crashing and losing half our work. I know the animation students here have survived the torturous and fickle master that is Maya. We've pushed through hundreds of hours slaving over a painting with turpentine fumes tickling our noses, stared at a monitor for hours in the pitch dark. We've tried to find the perfect animated movement. We've redrawn a letter hundreds of times until the curve was exactly right. We've pushed through online classes that felt like they would never end, posted who knows how many awkwardly phrased introduction discussions. We've pulled the all-nighters. We've survived the overwhelmingly messy and wonderful creature that is art school. Of course, we all know this wouldn't be possible without help from the community here at RUMCAD. Our amazing teachers who have worked so hard to help keep us sane and make us better artists. I know I personally had such fantastic teachers that went out of the way to help in any way they could, and I can't say I would have made it through without them. And let's thank our friends and classmates too. The company on those late nights, the friend you can send memes to about how you're now 95% coffee, the people who gave you critiques when you needed them, helped you figure out how to do something you didn't understand, worked with you on your thesis, or just supported you with some wine and chocolate after a long day. We couldn't have done it without supporting each other, without being a family. And after the relief has set in, the graduation invites are sent, the last minute touches put to our thesis and our grad show, the last all-nighter pulled the day before your final presentation. After the cake is eaten and the caps and gowns put away, you are left looking at a future that is just about as terrifying as the first blank page of a new sketchbook. It's both exciting and exhilarating and filled with possibilities. But at the same time, you want it to be absolutely perfect, to start that new sketchbook on the best note that you can. And the overwhelming feeling of staring at that blank page can be paralyzing. What if we fail? What if we don't get jobs? What if we fall flat on our face? What if we aren't good enough? And realistically, we know that things are going to be hard. We know that we're going to struggle at times, that we're going to face challenges, that we will fail, that we won't always get the job we want, that we'll have to go into the world and pay our dues and work harder than we have ever worked before to get where we want to be. And what if that's still not enough? And so it becomes tempting to just not try, to get a desk job, to quit before you've even started, to allow yourself a life of complacency and never strive for what your heart truly wanted. And so when we fail, and when we struggle, when we feel like we just can't do it, when we still haven't heard back after that job application, when our client is being completely unreasonable and wants us to use Comic Sans on their website, or wants a whole animation project in a week, we need to remember what it was that caused us to go into this crazy job in the first place. That passion that pushed you to start at the beginning, That moment that made your heart soar, that made you know that this is what you had to do. Hold on to that moment and don't ever let go of it. I mean, this is like Jack and Rose never let go status here. Because when you can take a second and remove yourself from all the crap that's surrounding you, take a step back and just breathe, remember what made you do this, and realize you have made it this far. You haven't given up, and so you haven't failed. Because a surefire way to not get that job is to never apply for it. And the best way to fail at your artwork is to never start the drawing. So as long as you're working and pushing through it, you cannot fail. As long as you don't quit, as long as you hold on to your passion, as long as you don't let the detritus of this world bring you to your knees, as long as you stand up and pursue your goals with strength, with determination, it doesn't matter how small the steps you are taking are, because you're still moving forward. The days of speeches about how glowing and wonderful the world is, how the world is our oyster, those are behind us. We are all intelligent adults. We know how hard the world is. We know that we have chosen a career that takes a hell of a lot of gumption and guts to pursue. So pursue it with ferocity. Take the world by storm. Realize that it can be hard and decide that you just don't care. Make your mark with defiance and strength, and never ever stop making. The worst thing I think any artist could contemplate is to sit back and never create. So create! Bring your unique talent to this world with the fierceness and the vibrancy that caused you to pursue it in the first place. Make this world tremble to behold your passion. To refer back to the Dead Poets Society, to quote from Whitman, "O me, O life, of the questions of these recurring, of the endless trains of the faithless, of cities filled with the foolish, what good amid these, O me, O life? Answer, that we are here, that life exists an identity, that the powerful play goes on, that you may contribute a verse. What will your verse be? Class of 2016, today we graduate and go on to who knows where. But I am confident that each one of you will tackle every challenge you face with dignity, with ferocity, with passion. That you will leave your mark on this world, that you will not give in to cynicism, to negativity, to a world that at times can seem like it is constantly pushing you down. That you will choose to contribute your own verse, and that you will make it count. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the mother of dragons.
On behalf of the board of directors and our emeriti faculty, our faculty and our staff and administration, I want you all to know just how incredibly proud we all are of you.
All right, first up, we have animation. I'd like to call Sarah Gentry to the stage.
Miss Alice Coles. Oh, of course you can hug me.
time since I uploaded a new video, and I'm super sorry for that. I actually graduate in a week and a half, and no, like a week, like literally a week. Oh my god.